Mounted of 71, 33 and 60. It's been 21 age, 3 years service in the army, and 16 years in the corporate training. Mounted
Okay. So, sir, we are right now live. So, we are
Okay.
live now. So, welcome, sir. Welcome, ma'am. This is the first
Thank you.
podcast that I'm recording, and it's an honor and a privilege for me to have you both here. So, to everyone who is seeing this podcast, let me introduce you to the respected guest. We have Colonel Sayaji Nikam, sir, with more than 30 years of experience in the forces. And with him, we have his wife, Mrs. Suvarna Nikam, ma'am. And earlier, she was a teacher, then a college professor, and currently a corporate trainer. Now, sir and ma'am both are corporate trainers. So, really, sir, it's an honor to have you both because there are some professions where we have a lot of respect. One is the forces, because you go out to serve the country, to serve the motherland. We have a lot of respect for that. Then there are the teachers, the trainers who actually work for the welfare of the society. So, welcome, sir, to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Manav. Thank you.
So, just to let everyone know how we are going to move ahead, I am having a lot of questions to discuss here. At the last, we'll be having like 5 to 10 minutes of kind of question. We'll be having a like a Q&A session where everyone can ask their questions in the chat, and
Okay.
will the sir and ma'am will be responding. So, sir, can we start?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Looking forward.
Yes, sir. So, the main thing that Speak Yatra follows is personality development, public speaking, and the overall development of a individual. When you were a child, because everyone comes at a leadership role, you were a retired colonel, but when you were a child, were you the same leader of your group, of your class, or you were the opposite? Which kind of student you were?
So what I remember is when I was in my initial days of schooling, I was a very shy boy.
Okay.
And gradually, when I came to middle school, somewhere in seventh class, I started observing that my classmates, I studied in a co-ed school. So my classmates were good in reciting poems. They were taking part in sports. They were taking part in dramas, plays. So that thought triggered in me that I think I need to wake up and need to also do something to be like them. And that motivated me to get out of my shell and start working towards that. And thereafter, there was no looking back.
So
So what I
initially,
want to tell people is, sorry.
no, no, sir, please, please.
So what I want to tell people is that the idea to change comes from within.
Hmm.
For some people, it might come early. Some people it might come late. That's not no problem. But it's important that you have to take the decision to change. And once you take the decision to change, you'll start feeling the how things are moving around you, and you'll start feeling nice. And there's where the growth, your self growth starts.
True, sir. It always comes from within because most of the time there are external people who say, do it. But we don't do it from ourselves until and unless we realize that it is important. We don't do it. So, sir, moving to the next one, let's come to some of your military life. How you decided that you have to join the forces?
For me, uh, It was quite simple because I am a fourth generation army officer. My
Okay.
father, his father, grandfather, and father all were in the army. All my uncles were also in the army. Second was the pride of the uniform, which I saw as a child. And third was the adventurous life which we led as children. But the most important factor, which was in 1969 when the Aradhana movie was released, and I found all the girls in my class were in love with the Air Force pilot played by Rajesh Khanna. तभी मैंने सोच लिया ये फौज में जाना है.
I, that was a great one, sir. Loved it, sir. Uh, now let's come to ma'am. So, ma'am,
Yes, please.
you're an army wife, and your father was also in the forces, and your son is also in the army. So, being from the
Son-in-law.
Son-in-law.
okay, son-in-law. Okay.
Son-in-law.
So,
Yeah.
like from the
Yes, yes.
childhood only, you were you were having the atmosphere of the armed forces. Now, to the my knowledge, it's like sometimes you are at one place, then you move to some another place, then you are getting posted to some another place. Now, in this scenario, it is very important that you adapt because new people are there, new societies, new culture sometimes. So it is a very difficult thing, like in corporates also, when people come, and it is important for them to have the adaptability. So what people can learn from the forces personals, their families, about the adaptability.
Yes, it's a very thoughtful question, Manav. That is true. That adaptability, they say, cannot come overnight. It has to develop slowly, step by step, throughout your childhood and when you grow up. For example, like during when I opened my eyes as a child, I saw olive green everywhere. All then I realized later on so much of discipline, for love for duty, love to do work willingly, happily. So all that I saw, and then during the school days, many opportunities came for me to participate. They used to ask to participate, the teachers. I never said no, and that is very important for this growth mindset to come in, which is one of the most important function of adaptability. So never saying no, and that's because of that never saying no, I grew to face opportunities and challenges in life very smoothly and without much stress. And secondly is how you view things. Like, for example, when we were out on postings and all, we used to view this whole movement and packing and all with fun filled and very happy moments. So, is how you view things that makes a difference and enhances your adaptability more.
I also would like to add that if you accept it,
Mhm.
then things roll out easier because the mind accepts it. Then it starts giving you ideas how to work towards that. And if
Right.
you don't accept it, then you find a lot of hurdles coming and you get frozen. So accepting something is a very key factor for adaptability.
True, true.
Got it, sir. So, coming to adaptability, let's move ahead, ma'am, for you only. We see that
Mm.
the forces, the personals who are going, they are treated as heroes, and they definitely are. They are the heroes of the nation. But I believe that it is their families also, because they are also playing a major part in the life of a soldier. So, as an army wife, what challenges you face? Because most of the time it goes undiscussed. People don't consider it a lot. So, if you can tell some challenges, that an army wife faces.
Yes. Challenges, I would say, is a moment of loneliness. So that was it. Because as the husbands are out in the operational areas or field areas, we have to live by ourselves looking after the children. Second is managing children without their fathers by their side. So these two challenges I would consider which highlights the army lifestyle. Yeah, but still we are able to gradually overcome it because of our strong army support system. We have our unit officers wives who are always there, asking, looking after, and they call us home, we call them at home, so that way we interact a lot and communicate a lot. And then we have our organization also called the Army Wives Welfare Association, which also helps us in moments of stress and any other distress we are going through. So that is it.
Okay. So, yeah, I think the support from the organization that you get is one of the
Yes,
crucial pillars. And I think this is one of the positive things about the forces. This is one of the positive things, that the support system that the family gets from the side of the forces. I think that's a beautiful thing
Yes.
we can have. So, sir, moving ahead,
right.
let's come to some speaking sides. When we talk
Mm.
about leadership, speaking is a really very important thing, because when you are dealing with your men, when you are dealing with people, sometimes maybe their morale gets down, sometimes they are not feeling well, but still it is the operation, it is the crucial task that they are having. So how to stay motivated in all these scenarios as a leader? When we speak, the energy needs to be reflected. There is a energy level as well, because if we are as a leader only we are getting demotivated, then how we will be managing with the team, how we'll be motivating others. So how is it in the forces to maintain the energies of the leaders?
In the forces, motivation is built from uh, over a period of time, right from your training when you get selected, when you're in NDA, IMA, you start looking at your whole service from a different angle. And once you join your unit, it is always for the izzat of the unit, which you really work for and fight for and die for. Is for the unit. That gets ingrained once any Jawan or any officer or the youngster joins the unit. It builds it into your system, and you always look forward that unit ki izzat is what should not be tainted,
Hmm.
and that's how that keeps the motivation high. Secondly, is in army you're very highly task focused throughout your training, and when you do, you're very highly task focused. So when you start looking at a task, then uh, you are neither in the future or the present. You're neither in the past or the future. You're in the present. So when you put your mind in the present, is for not only army, even for outside, you'll find you'll get self motivated. So being in the present
Hmm.
is very important, because if you think of past, it'll drag you.
Hmm.
So being in the present is a very big motivation factor also, and task focus is what helps you to be motivated also.
Great, sir. um, Now when we go out and we give presentations, we give speech out of the forces, I'm talking about, because now you are into the corporate trainings as well. It is important to ensure that the way we start the presentation, the speech, it truly matters, because nowadays we have a lot of distractions. We have phones, we have Instagram, in that we have Facebook. How to make sure that your starting is so strong that the audience, they don't focus on the mobile phones, they focus on the speaker.
Most important is when you are especially outside, I found is your opening sentence or your has to be what is in for you, the context. If the context is understood by the audience that there's something for them, automatically all mobiles, everything switches off and they are focused. So many times people start speaking without giving the context. So setting the context in any speech or any presentation is very important.
Okay.
For example, I was asked to do a program where two banks were merging, and the HR told me, "Yes, sir, वो context सही रखना नहीं तो this whole program might bomb, you know." So I spent 2 days thinking what to find the context. You know. Then it suddenly struck me two different banks are merging. The context is a marriage between a boy and a girl. Both come from different backgrounds. You know, both the banks have different backgrounds. Both come from different value systems. You know, so how does a boy and a girl adjust? So I took that contest. I got two people out from the audience, and I said that when I got a lady out and asked her when you were married, how did you adjust? You accepted, you know. So once the context is set properly, thereafter then it is becomes very easy. So one has to spend a little time to understand what context, how the context has to be set and how is to be delivered. Then you find distractions are easy. Secondly, is you have to today's world you have to be very focused and short. People don't have time much to listen to you, especially the Gen Z.
Yeah.
In training programs, also I find that. So you have to be very focused, no additional words, to the point, and clarity should be there in what you talk. I think people want clarity and focused talk,
Mm.
then they are comfortable.
Got it, sir. Definitely, these points are going to help the listeners craft their presentation or speech in a way that it becomes really effective for the audience. This is a question for both of you. There's a way that a person has to deal with a male and they have to deal with females, specifically like if it is parties, formal gatherings. We can't shake hands in the same way just with a male and a female. Like there are different kinds of etiquettes we need to keep in mind while dealing with males and females. So being in corporate, what are some of the things you might have noticed or you would like to know or you would like to tell the audience here that please don't do these blunders when you're at a social gathering or in meetings while dealing with the opposite gender.
Yeah, you start.
Yeah, one has to be very sensitive to the communication part, especially when you're talking with the other gender. You have to be you cannot out of fun or joke. You cannot joke based on like it will be taken as an insult. So you have to be very careful what you communicate, how you communicate, and that comes with a lot of sensitivity and practice in your daily life. So that's it. Yeah.
What I like to add is when you're dealing with the other gender, have a mind in your mind. Think of respect. It is very important. If you have that emotion of respect and empathy, I'm sure then your behavior automatically will be a different. You'll always look at the other person from a different angle, and your tone, your voice, then your mannerisms, your eye contact will all be will change when you look at the other gender with respect. uh, वो एक भाव अंदर होना चाहिए रिस्पेक्ट का. वो भाव अगर है तो आई थिंक मोस्ट ऑफ थिंग्स टेकन केयर ऑफ.
I have also experienced that it is said that you must appreciate, others. But sometimes some people go overboard in appreciation because they have not learned how to appreciate others. It has to within everything has a boundary. एक मर्यादा होती है हर चीज की, हर काम की. तो in the same way, appreciation also has a boundary, and it has to be spoken in that manner. So for that you have to learn, you have to expose yourself to come, classes or some sessions where they put you through all this, and you can learn easily, very easily, because appreciation is a very strong part of our being uh, on this planet. Yeah.
I see nowadays in Pune, especially Bombay, I find I was attending training programs. There are a lot of girls in the field of
Training.
soft skill training. So I would recommend all these youngsters to go through these sessions in person, attend these classes on soft skill training. They add a lot of value, and without exposing yourself, you can upskill yourself and project a better personality to when you're in your own organization or surrounding. These trainings are available these days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful, sir. So, moving ahead, now when it comes to speaking, you know, it demands courage. Specifically, if you are someone who has not practiced soft skills and all, it takes a lot of courage even to speak in meetings. It takes courage to speak inside a class. So many times it happens that people have a good idea. In office meetings, they are sitting, they have a good idea. In classroom also, they know the answer, but they don't raise their hand, thinking that if they will say wrong or they will fumble, people will smile or laugh. And because of these things, they lose a lot of opportunities. So how the people, how the students, working professionals, they can come out of this thing, that hesitation part.
For speaking, what I would say is you start speaking on topics where or subjects where you have your own personal experience. Because speaking on personal experience is easy because the content is all with you. You have experienced that. Because of your experience, your flow becomes easier. And once you start getting a flow, your body language also changes. So initially, speak through your experience. Most of the topics you have to select. And after some time, once you get that flow and confidence, then you start shifting to other topics and subjects. That is one. Language should not be a barrier. People should not hesitate because I've seen in nowadays I do programs in corporates. I find people coming from 2 tier and 3 tier cities also, and quite a few of them I find girls and all. They say, "Can we speak in Hindi?" And I, as a trainer, I said, "Why not? Go ahead. Language is not a barrier. Speak your mind, you know." And then I tell them what they're learning from you. If you want to grow now, start learning English. I recently saw a video on YouTube where a girl from MP who becomes a collector, and she didn't know English at all. And she said she cried the first day when she joined that college in Bhopal. And next day, all the 4 walls were written with all English words. And in 6 months, she was speaking English. So what I want to say is there's no shortcut. You have to work hard, and you will get results. तो कोई जिंदगी में कोई शॉर्टकट नहीं है. मेहनत करो, you will get results.
True, sir.
Yeah, that is true. And but the thing you said was of courage of speaking, that is public speaking, you meant to say that, no? A courage in public speaking. So that has to be developed. You have to just go at it. Like, for example, during childhood days, I used to get butterflies in my stomach when I used to come on the stage to speak. But I used to still participate and still go on with that butterfly in my stomach. And slowly by slowly, I got over it, and now I'm able to face the corporates, face the stage, face the audiences, and any number of people. Yes.
These days, I find a lot of butterflies outside.
Yes, yes.
I must say, sir,
नमक में कोई नहीं.
Nature loving, no?
it is really a fun conversation that I'm having over here. It's really interesting to have this conversation. But because of certain time boundaries, we have to move towards the ending. I have a lot of questions, and
Okay.
definitely in future we'll plan another session where we can have more discussion about more regarding corporate trainings and all. But lastly, I would like to ask a question. You have served a long time, more than 3 decades in the forces, and there are lots of aspirants who are working, who are eagerly want to join the forces through NDA, CDS, AFCAT, or through various entries. What message would you like to give to those aspirants that can actually boost their morale to join the forces? Or even if someone don't want is having a difficulty in decision making whether to join the forces or not, what is that one message that you would like to give to them?
Army is the most respected profession in the country today. No other profession can give you that respect. Secondly, it gives you an opportunity to serve your country also. And thirdly, if tomorrow you want to decide that you want to leave the army after, say, about 20 years, your pensionable service, the army gives you a big opportunity to do a course in IM. You do a course in IM and step out and then join a corporate. That option is also available. And for those people who want to join corporate, I see you must apply for army and go for the service selection board interview. That's one of the most technical interviews in the whole world. It is over 4 days. If you crack that SSB interview and then you go for a corporate selection, any interview, you'll be able to crack it in first shot. So that interview, SSB interview, also gives you a big learning experience. So I would say that go for, and if you want to have a very good life full of discipline, fun, adventure, then army is the right place.
Wonderful answer, sir. So, as I told earlier, we'll be having a quick Q&A session. So, let's see if we have any
Okay.
questions in the chat box. So, till the time everyone is, I mean, there are few people, if they are writing, um, would move ahead with like, what are you planning ahead after this retirement? You're into corporates.
Oh, a lot of studies is happening. Study.
So we were into outbound training programs when we left the army for the last 15 years, and now we are looking at facilitation programs. So we have joined that organization, International Association of Facilitators, and this November they have an annual conference in Pune. Luckily in Pune
Okay.
for 3 days. So we are joining that conference where we learn a lot about facilitation skills, which can help us to do inbound programs for corporates.
Basically, it is upgrading ourselves.
So a lot of
That is
studies are
what we are.
involved, a lot of reading is involved,
Lot of exchange of ideas,
ideas we
thoughts
discuss.
is involved.
So she tells me at night, now stop discussing and go to sleep. 12 बज गए रात को. You're still discussing.
I think that's
So
a
we are
power
involved in
couple.
that depth, of a lot of discussion and.
In relationship, it is said that the perfect one is when you grow each other, and throughout the discussion, I can sense that thing happening in you both. So I don't feel that we are getting any questions right now. So we can conclude this
Okay.
session for now, sir. It was a wonderful session that we had today. We discussed a lot of points today. We discussed about your initials from the childhood part, very few things about the army. We discussed your experiences and all are left to be discussed, sir. So, looking forward to having some more better sessions, more conversations with you ahead. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me your time, giving Speak Yatra your time. And I believe this conversation, you talked about adaptability, you talked about how to start the conversations, build